Jerry, how are you? I think this little soldier has fought his last battle. Time to send him to the graveyard for retirement. You said you're working on an action page, or you're referring to mine? Because both are true. Son of a bitch. There it is. Finally. Thanks, Jerry. Hey, shotgun. What's up, my dude? John, MT74R. What's up?
Cool days.
How's everyone doing tonight? You say you're about to launch your game. Remind me, what do you mean by your game? What is that? And forgive me if you mentioned it once. I'm juggling a lot of things and a lot of information. I can't keep everything straight. So forgive me if you've mentioned this game. Shotgun, you work for Mob Entertainment. You are launching Chapter 5 of Poppy Playtime. I'm the character art director and cinematic director. Holy shit, man. I don't know much about Poppy Playtime except that my kids seem to love that shit. They've mentioned it many times. In fact, let me see. We're trying to pull up a thing here. Like this song right there, my kids have introduced me to this Poppy Playtime original song. My kids freaking no, they don't play anything. They just watch stuff on YouTube. So whatever it is, my kids, they don't play anything like that. If it's a game, I don't even think that they know. They just watch stuff on YouTube. But they think it'd be pretty neat that their daddy knows somebody who works on it. Best stuff you've done as a studio. That's awesome. I'll have to tell them. Yeah, they think that that's kind of neat. They love that. Again, I don't know much about it because it's not built for me, but they love it. So whatever it is. But yeah, they don't play. As far as I know, they don't play any games like that when they're with me, and I kind of doubt they do it when they're with their mom. But yeah, whatever it is, they watch online. Okay, I'll tell them. It's that type of stuff that keeps that stuff alive. That's awesome, man. It's good to hear that. I run into all these different kind of creative types, like you and other guys that do different kinds of art and creative things. You know, people that are animators, comic artists, painters, video game developers. It's neat. It's neat to, you know, make all these kind of connections to people. It's fun. I like that. Ginger. There's a Ginger. Yeah, Ginger. Oh, you started the next issue. So that means that you finished the first one? Like, I guess logically that's what that would mean. That's a big deal. Oh, right. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yes. I kind of got the mindset right. Um, and kind of getting back into it. I'm trying to get that energy ramped up to be cramming out pages at rapid speed like I used to when I was working on my last book. So, and yeah, I'm doing all right. Like I said, that whole situation, that was like, it was 2 weeks ago. And so there's been a lot of processing and thinking and et cetera, et cetera. I just was kind of waiting till my ex-wife kind of said it was okay to kind of mention it publicly, and they actually buried him today. I was at the viewing last Sunday, but the actual burial was today. So my boys were at that thing. They're with me now. So I was just talking to my older son. Yeah, I mean, but it's not like the thing just happened yesterday. And yeah, sitting down and doodling, right?
Tough distraction.
I want to be rich. Wishing for more money? All you need is your phone. No, go to the guy.
Ugh. Pardon my hiccups. Yeah, Shotgun Scream. You know exactly what this is. Strength and Honor was one of the titles of the chapters in my He-Man fan comic. Like the whole book. I think it was chapter book 5 on the inside. It was titled Strength and Honor. And then the other one, I think it was the final book. The title of the book on the inside of it was He Was a Warrior of Eternia. Honor him. Jerry, do I have any art books of big name franchises? I don't. I've never been one to really collect those. I've seen a couple that I would kind of like to. I remember seeing, I think the Kayfabe guys were showing on their channel, I think it was a art book of Ghost in the Shell, like the animated movie, and just the stuff I saw in that. I'm like, oh, I'd like to get my hands on that one of these days. Shotgun, you got your crew saying strength and honor at the end of a meeting. I love that, dude. That would make me like, I would love to have work in a place where I'd have like a supervisor, a lead, or some type that says shit like that. That would be fantastic. Egg, what's going on, man? Things are kind of fine. It happened 2 weeks ago. My boys are here. They're in there just kind of doing their thing. Yeah, Shotgun, that's awesome, dude. I like hearing that. Just your nominal music. Do I release comics? I mean, kind of. I am very close to doing a crowdfunder for my first kind of like real one. I did a big fan comic 6 graphic novels of Masters of the Universe that I've made. But so kind of, sorta, not professionally or anything. I'm just a random chucklehead who just likes to dabble. Ugh, pardon my hiccup. Yeah, right, Ginger Bear? That's awesome, right? I love that. Strength and honor. Strength and honor. I've always loved that phrase. Be strong, be honorable. Jerry Gand, you're going for God of War, the old ones, PS2 and era? Yeah. Yeah, I don't really pay attention to video game stuff, so those never cross my. But of course, I can recognize good art when I see it, but that's not stuff I've ever sought out myself. The character department started becoming the character team after we started saying that. That's awesome. Jerry, you like concept art of things attached to things you like comics, movies, TV shows. Yeah, I get it. Art wise, it's always amazing to see what just some of the concept art stuff can be. You know, stuff that they thought about doing but then didn't. I always kind of come back to remember like looking at some of the conceptual sketches that they were throwing around for Star Wars, The Phantom Menace, some of the designs for Darth Maul. I mean, they basically made him look like Satan anyway, but some of the other designs they were farting around with Darth Maul were like truly frightening, monstrous character designs. I'm like, oh, imagine if they went with that. Holy crap. Professor Midoriya, love your art. Looks cool and awesome. Keep doing what you're doing and always stay positive. Have you seen concept designs for My Hero Academia? No, I have not, because it's a franchise that I know literally nothing about beyond its existence. And so I don't know about any of that. I know you could put a gun to my head and demand that I tell you about it, and I couldn't. You're like, oh, you might as well just pull the trigger because we're all wasting our time here. No idea what it is. Oh yeah, I should have. Yeah, Ginger Bear. He's into video games and stuff. Yeah, you guys have a lot to talk about, I'm sure. just your nominal music. You're an artist and into comics and anime, but you want to learn about the panels and stuff and creating comics. I mean, it's learning storytelling, and it's something you got to kind of dig into and read about how to tell a story, establishing a place, establishing a shot, um, putting them in settings that people can follow. When you're drawing multiple characters, you have to learn how to keep illustrating them in a way that the reader is not getting confused by the placement of the characters panel to panel. You could study cinematography in movies and the way that they tell it in a movie. But at the same time, comics are kind of their own unique thing, and you just kind of have to start digging through them and seeing what the masters do. And then the ultimate thing is you just got to sit down and just start trying to do it yourself. You just got to start trying to draw a page of comics and see what you do and put it out there for people to see and get some feedback, that somebody might point out something to you that you just don't see. You know, it's just study and apply and practice and rinse, repeat, and just keep going. If you really love it, you want to do it. Got a couple of video game cinematics, storyboard artists, creators like geeking out over each other's respective works, and that's awesome. That's awesome, guys. Norm, you just follow your hands. Your mind usually goes blank. I mean, that's why if you're going to do a comic page, you have to work out the storytelling by thumbnails first. You got to write the story down on some fashion. I wouldn't recommend just going like, I'm going to draw a page, but the entire story is just in your head. Like, get it down and then start doing, I do these things like this. Little thumbnail layouts like this. Like the page I'm working on right now is this one. I kind of worked out what I'm going to do and basically how I'm going to do it on a smaller scale. Like this one right here is this page right there. You know, I got the guys standing together at the top, big close-up of a guy's face, and then they have some kind of conversations back and forth in two panels. So you got to work it out. Get the storytelling figured out on thumbnails, smaller, and do several at a time. Like, you know, I've got a bunch going on, so I can just start, when I get to the big pages, I can start just doing the big art. Don't be trying to figure it out on the page. That'll, I think, help you get a lot farther. Yeah, always cool people in the chat, right, Ginger? Hey, you're inking along with me tonight. You hope your story holds up because you feel like you need a moment of silence after you put pen to pencil. Art is murdered. I hear you. I bet it's not a fraction as bad as you might see it yourself. But that's all of us. We all look at our shit and go, ugh, I could have done better. But you know what? You just move on and you do better on the next page. And if you keep at it, you will get better page to page. Andrew Morris, that's really funny you mentioned that. Because at this point, probably never, because I don't own any of those books and I've never read them and I don't know anything about them. So I'd have to get my hands on them and then I'd have to kind of so I'm not saying never, but I don't own any of those. And I kind of have to be picky and choosy about what I choose to spend money on in terms of what I'm going to show on the channel. But it's funny you mentioned that because I just did a video. I just did it before I started drawing. It's going to go up tomorrow. That is, I got this book, Essentials, X Factor, and Simonson draws a significant part of this stuff. Now, I don't talk about Simonson stuff in my video because there's too much. Like, I can't go over this whole thing. But I focused on what I think is almost potentially the best looking issue of any comic that Silvestri has ever drawn. Uncanny X-Men 242, giant size spectacular. I spent like an hour talking about the art in this book, starting with this fucking incredible splash page, and then this great. But I do kind of mention, like, obviously Simonson is in here. He draws the chapter immediately following this too. He's obviously fantastic, but I don't have much to say about his work in terms of somebody that I've followed for a long time because I didn't really read anything that he drew when I was younger, so it's all kind of new to me. But he's fantastic, obviously. Hey, what's up, bro? Yeah. And then Silvestri. I just focus on Silvestri because he's just so fantastic. But yeah, I don't own any of those Fantastic Fours, so I don't have any. I don't have them. So nothing I can add to that, unfortunately.
I was drugged of having a dog who would go on adventures with me. I'm an athlete, so I try to be intentional about everything I put in my body. I want to make sure she's getting the best.
Norm, you'll go and draw with you tonight. Hopefully it'll turn out fine. Yeah, like I said, if you wanted to draw comics and do storytelling, it's you got to start somewhere. So, you got to have a story of some type in mind, and you got to kind of work out how you want to tell the story. But if you don't have anything ready to go right now, you could just sit down with the page and just start drawing a page just out of your head, just to start, just something. Something is better than nothing, and just kind of start getting a feel for it. Like, have an establishing shot, and if you want to keep it simple, you can just like, oh, he's in a forest or a mountain or some bullshit like that. He's in space, and then establish your character, where he's at, and then what are they doing, and just kind of go from there. Andrew Morris. How about Olivier Coipel? If I'm saying his name right. Um, he's been one of my favorite artists for years. I think I first noticed him on, I think it was House of M. And Jesus, is he like talented. And then I followed him. The first time I started reading Thor comics is when he was doing that run where like Asgard was reborn on Earth. I think Straczynski was writing it. And I picked it. I started collecting Thor comics because Olivier was drawing it, and I thought it's some of the coolest looking stuff. He's so good. Him and like Stuart Immonen were like kind of modern day art superstars to my mind in that era. Those guys are just fantastic. J does art says W art. Shotgun. Shotgun. I assume you're talking to me. Have you ever read Requiem, Vampire Night? Oliver the Droid produced some of the most amazing. I've never heard of that or the artist, but that sounds like something I might need to look at, right? That's the thing. There's so much good art out there. In a way, it's I can imagine it kind of like almost getting overwhelmed. Is it? But is there such a situation as of an abundance of riches? Like there's so much good art. Is that a bad thing? No. I'm just trying to do mediocre art and hope that my ridiculous bullshit stories and stuff carry it enough for people's interest. Some of these fantastic, like high tier, super badass artists are just sometimes it's like, how can somebody draw that well? Written by Pat Mills. I'll have to look it up. Did I not finish the borders on this? No. Am I stupid? Yes. Skinbreaker number 5. I have not got it yet. I'm just gonna stop off at my comic shop tomorrow, and I was kind of hoping that maybe it's there. I'm certainly going to be obviously be picking them up as they go, but not yet. But I do know it's kind of like the time, round about the time. It's been about a month or so. Got Youngblood number 4 on the way. That's always a channel favorite, is Rob shitting on Rob. Of course, we just got Last Blood.
With over 200 locations across the country, we're ready to help no matter where you are. As a national brand, we offer a high quality product at the lowest prices. And with each store,
Pay-per-view. It would be funny, I've said this before, if he just decided to shout out, there's a asshole on the internet who takes delight and he's just jealous and he's making videos about my shit and he's just jealous and he's a hater, and like, yeah, all right. That would be the ultimate achievement. I would have like leveled up to God level in my own mind. I'm like, yes, Liefeld called me out and called me a piece of shit. But like I've said before, I don't think he would for a second, because all he could do is point people in my direction, and he doesn't want to do that. So he just like, it's like, fuck him, I don't care. It is surprising to me the number of professional artists who have approached me privately and expressed similar opinions about how they can't believe how shitty his work is. It's they're like, don't tell anybody I said this, but good Lord, does he fucking suck. I'm like, oh, I know. We all know. I think Liefeld's going to hire you to do a book and then fire your ass. Oh my God. You know what? All he could do is point people in my direction, and then I'd get to make a book and people would see it more so than they would on my own. So like I said, all he could do is help me out. Like that dude that won that cover contest, that Liefeld shit on him and like, hey, you won the contest. He's like, awesome. It's been a year. Is that going to be a cover on anything? He's like, nope. He's like, is it ever going to be a cover on anything? Nope. He's like, well, I guess I should have expected that. And then Liefeld lost his shit, just lost his mind and went on like a scorched earth rant to just destroy the guy. How dare you fucking talk shit about me? I've actually got that guy's book. Got it to review on the channel too. Yeah, Ginger Bear says, Egg, he kind of did that to Chuck. You're not kidding. Chuck has told the story that Liefeld hired him as a brand new inker somewhere, you know, a long time ago. If I remember correctly, maybe Ginger Bear, you can back me up. He said that J. Scott Campbell was there and witnessed how Liefeld says, you're hired. I want to hire you as an inker. And if I understand it correctly, Chuck spent the next year trying to get somebody on the damn phone to like give him the shot he was told he would get, and eventually it just obviously wasn't going to happen.
today we're looking at a tiny pulse. We have two different options for different.
So eventually, and Chuck said, you know, it worked out better for him because he got hired at Wildstorm. He's like, that's the better place to learn. But freaking Liefeld said, I want to hire you as an inker. And Chuck was like, hell yeah. But then no one bothered to follow up with them and like make good on that. So Chuck's, I think he's a little quietly bitter about it. Who wouldn't be? Ginger, you were getting trashed in Liefeld's group the last couple days, including by his partner he runs a group with. Is that what's his name? Terry Sala? What'd you do? What'd you do to get trashed but not banned? You probably praised someone that Liefeld doesn't like, and he's like, "We don't do that around here. We don't praise Brett Booth." Yeah, Terry Sala. They're really all about AI art, huh? And everyone went off on you, huh? I'm actually surprised to hear that from a bunch of artists or art lovers, but wow. That's interesting. Yeah, AI can make some crazy stuff. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I've seen some stuff that's AI generated, and like I just got to be honest. I've actually kind of thought about doing a video just kind of talking about like it's here. It's not going anywhere. And if I happen to be scrolling through Instagram and see a video where AI has generated a couple of cats doing construction work, and one cat's holding the nail and the other cat's swinging it down, is supposed to be driving the nail, but he keeps missing and hitting the other cat on his hard hat on his head, and I laugh my ass off because it's funny. Like, I'm sorry, that shit's funny. It's kind of hilarious. Yeah, amazing that artists themselves support that plagiarism software. And I get you, Ginger. I understand. I even had to. I was kind of talking to a friend at work because a friend of mine was playing with that Chat GPT filter where you put shit in and it generates images of you in weird ways, and everyone's doing it. Like, I get it, but the stuff that these people had done, I didn't do it, but someone else was. And I was like, that's kind of interesting. It's funny that it creates it, but I also understand that it only creates by stealing. So I get it, but it's I get why people are so all over it, because like just non-artists are just like, oh, look at this funny thing that the computer made for me. You know? I get how people just don't know and they just like go for it. It literally spit out a render with Liefeld's mangled signature in the corner. Yeah. And I get you, Egg. I want to see the imperfections as much as the perfect strokes. And one of you guys, maybe it was you, Egg, were saying like in the future, like the jank, the weirdness, the oddness, the imperfections by hand created artists who are not flawless perfectionists, that might become kind of the interesting shit, because this computer shit is so precise but also imprecise in stupid ways. But the way it's progressing, they'll probably work out the flawless, clean sheen of it and create AI imperfections. Like, it's not going anywhere, and it's kind of frustrating, and it makes you really wonder what the future is going to be. Cinemic, you like AI to cheat on answers? That's not good. You think there should be more legislation for it? Yeah, Ginger, like if you cut and paste an artist's work in your book and call it yours, you'll get sued. But if you do the same to every other artist at once, apparently it's okay. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. But looking at all that funny shit that these things could create, like my brother, he generated like AI enhanced versions of my Master's End covers. I'm not gonna lie, some of it looked kind of neat, but I'm also like, this is not it lost all the interest of the physical drawn art. But people are going to be cranking it out. I mean, all I know is there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm just going to keep making my stuff. And it even makes me more specifically, not that it's the same thing, but like I specifically draw on paper with pencil and ink. And this just makes me want to keep doing it old school, traditional anyway. So I can prove beyond a shadow of a fucking doubt I made this by hand. Yeah, I've kind of thought the same thing, Ginger. You think it's going to mostly die out? Like it's going to be here. I think we're right at like the uprise of like it's just going to take off and people are going to be using it. But I've imagined a scenario where it kind of flattens out and kind of dies. And then us real artists will go back to work and just be like, yeah, we're here all the time, fuckers. Now I've just tripled my rates. The Wolf Master, how are you? Philip Michael, it's for memes and slop when it comes to art. It's getting less popular. I mean, I hope that's true. Like I wouldn't abide for a second. I would actually love for somebody to send me one of their comics and find out that's an AI generated thing. I would literally set it on fire on the channel. I'd be like, no, motherfucker. This channel is for people who draw their shit by hand, digitally, by hand. But you just typed it into a computer. It's a wild world. If you would have told me, again, I keep kind of going back to just when I was in high school or some shit. If you would have told me the technological stuff that we would have available to us, like just this cell phone, I would have like, no way. There's no way technology will be like that. That's Star Trek shit. That won't be available for a century. There's no way. But here we are, like with this advanced technology just in our hands, this bar of glass and plastic in our pocket, and we could see a volcano erupting in China live. And we're all kind of bored with it because it's just so, we've all seen it for so long. We're just not impressed by this cultural shift from technology that we have in our pockets every day. And it's just crazy how this stuff just keeps advancing and changing and growing. And it's like, where's humanity? Where's the human soul going to end up? Assuming it's not dead already. Well, the tricorder is shittier tech. Well, the next generation tricorder can literally, they're like using multiphasic scanning. We can detect particles in the atmosphere and reproduce the movements of somebody who was here 3 centuries ago. Let me just filter it and push some glowing buttons, and we're going to project a hologram of an ancient fucking, like, even the writers of Star Trek were like, we let these tricorders become a little bit too too overpowered because it's just such a plot device to just fucking explain away anything. But I get your point 100%. That's really funny actually. Let me scroll back here. Yeah, Philip Michael, that and the leverage, it should be heavily regulated when it's used for art. Oh, Ginger Bear. AI bros say that when you're inking digitally in Clip Studio, it's the same. It is not the same in the slightest. What the hell are with these retards that are like, you ink digitally? That's the same as somebody going, enter. It is not the same in the slightest, and only a real artist would understand that. Omer, what's up, my dude? Ginger Bear, dude, Rob, the iPhone 17 is going to be able to detect disruptions in the space-time continuum. I hope so. Art therapy night, yes. Imagine a caveman making a cave painting on the wall of what he's going to eat today, and an AI bro just manifests himself from the walls and says, "Hey, are you scraping that wall with your hands? That's pencil slop, bro." Yeah. Ginger Bear's going to pick up his area and do some art therapy himself. Hell yeah. This is the stuff that keeps some of us sane. Sometimes I hate to sound like dramatic and pessimistic, but being a little hyperbolic, sometimes this art that I do, it's the only joy I have in my life. Now, I say that I've got two beautiful children in the other room, and they are the joy and highlight of my life. But the slight difference is that because I'm not with their mom anymore, I don't even get to have them all the time. So I have to, spend a lot of time finding other ways to keep my soul running. And the only thing that I have 100% control over, that I love with my entire heart and soul, is my art. That's it. And it's the only thing I've got that I control 100%, and no one can take it from me. I can do this no matter what, whenever I want, as long as I'm willing to put in the time, and I control it. And so in that respect, it's, again, outside of my beautiful, sweet little boy. So I just had a great conversation with my oldest son just a little bit ago, about an hour ago. And he got up from the table and walked over and hugged me. And that made my little heart and soul just shine. But my art, my stories, my stupid stuff here, this keeps me going. Ugh. Philip Michael. Omer, you need to draw some wieners in jars. I mean, that it helped me. And here I am. I've got a whole ass comic drawn about a wiener in a jar. And y'all are going to read it, and you all are going to laugh and go, Rob, you wasted your time and Chuck's creating that shit. What the hell is your problem? Rob should be committed to a mental institution. Wolfmaster, it helps us escape the stress of life. Yeah. Philip Michael, your son is number one, but you totally understand. In a similar situation, it's awesome you found what you love and what helps you to keep going. Yeah. Why am I drawing the feet? Just throw some smoke. You're right. What am I doing? So we just put a wisp of smoke down here. It's just covering their feet so we don't have to see it. It's called existing in the field of lies. There we go. Yeah, Ginger, your comic came from grief to art therapy. Yeah, I know we've talked about that. Yeah, I get you. A lot of us, I get it. We just, like I've said before, when I got divorced and I was miserable and living on my own for the first time, I just come right to this table and draw until I could not fucking keep my eyes open, go to bed, get up and go back to work. and then come right back to the drawing table and draw until I could not keep my eyes open. And that's what kind of kept me afloat. Now I've got a whole other thing going on that's awesome. I know, Omer, I know. That being said, that is a legitimate trick. I watched Silvestri do that shit, and I'm like, if he can do it, so can I. Just fade it out. Throw some shadow over it. Throw some debris. Or if you're Liefeld, you just don't do it. Just don't draw it. Just don't even try. Cinematic, you wish drawing was that convenient for you? There's not a lot of work desks around here. That's one thing that I also get. Like, it's one thing to want to be able to create art, but you have to have the time, and some people's current living situations just don't allow for it. It's like, I got wife and kids and job and house and everything, and I just can barely scrape apart the time. So I am fortunate that fortunate through unfortunate circumstances that I have the ability to put a lot of time into my comic making as I see fit. Egg, thank you, man. I actually do get that too. You say watching you do art is something you look forward to. I don't really have friends that are into doing comic style art. There are plenty of people that applaud it, but not creating it. And I'm kind of the same. I don't have anybody around me. I have my younger brother. He likes to create, and he lives relatively close to me, but I haven't seen him in a minute. I've got a couple other artist friends, but the people who inspire me artistically, big bunch of you are right here in the channel right now. It's people that I've met online, mostly through my YouTube channel, and then just live streaming. And we just kind of sit around and we talk. And while we may not see each other in real life, but we sit here and kind of inspire each other and motivate each other. And I get it, you know. It's I think social media has done a lot of bad things in the universe because humanity will take anything and pervert it and twist it and make it a terrible thing, but it's got a lot of upsides and positives and being able to connect with people that you would normally never meet. I would have never known Ginger Bear there. Would have never known Chuck or any of you fellas who we've kind of chatted back and forth for a long time. Mello, hey man, how are you? Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Ginger Bear, you work in a creative industry, even with ex-comic artists. I know you got Chap hanging out with you. You still struggle to find people into drawing and reading comics like us. Omer, people can always carve out 10 to 15 minutes a day if you make it a priority and not waste time. We waste a lot of time thinking of bullshit we just need to do sometimes. You know what? Omer's speaking facts right there. He's like, a lot of us, we waste a lot of time doing bullshit, and that's true. A lot of it is prioritizing. What do you want to prioritize? You know, like Omer, that dude, you're live streaming and drawing all the time. So is Mello. You guys are on doing it all the time. Cinematic to do digital is surprisingly more convenient, but it drains my soul because digitally sketching takes so long and I can't do clean line art. Egg, one day we'll meet up and then we'll not get along. Like, you know what? Fuck you. I actually hate you in person. We should have just left it. We should have just left it online where everything was good. Wouldn't that be the irony of ironies? You know, that's all right. We may not all agree on the same things, but That's why I like to avoid political discussions on my channel. Like, we're not going to agree. Let's just let that world exist somewhere else. And let's just sit here and talk about the fun shit that we all love to do. The world sucks enough as it is, so. Yeah, Ginger Bear, a really good way to work it in is literally just try to draw or just rough out a single panel a day. That's it. 2 weeks of that, and you got an entire page. It's true. Again, prioritize it, and if you just sit down and find the time, just work on it, just fiddle away at it a little bit here and there, you can suddenly, you just kind of keep cracking at it, and eventually you're like, hey, I'm actually getting things done. Eventually you've got some art and comics, and then you get inspired, hopefully, and you get motivated, and you keep going. Next thing you know, you got a book with a story about a severed dick in a jar. And then Rob's like, hey, let's crowdfund this. Who wants to read a story about the severed dick in a jar? Hopefully it'll make you laugh. It better, because if it doesn't, then I have failed miserably. God, this actually just fine. Yeah, Mello, you're not wrong. You know, it does seem kind of like all right, I can tackle this. But then suddenly you're like, okay, this scene calls for this. And you sit there and you go, wait, I don't have the slightest clue where to even start. And then I go and look up artists who do it professionally and do it well. You're like, what am I missing? Oh, it's so frustrating. Yeah, I get you, dude. It's suddenly you're like, wait, I can't just draw a muscly guy punching lizard monster, or at least not only that. I have to draw a human being in a coffee shop talking to old man for 3 pages, and you're like, well, what is it? What does it even inside of a coffee shop look like? Then you go Google it, and you're like, okay, but now where do I put all this, and how do I? God damn it! And suddenly you come to a screeching halt, and you're like, fuck, this is way harder than I thought it would be. Yeah, eggs, facts, Mellow. She's been practicing cars. I've gone from crap to pretty good in 2 weeks. See, there you go. I'm just bad at vehicles anyway. And I love vehicles. Cars and spaceships and jets and planes and stuff, but I am terrible. Yeah, egg has been rewarding. Yeah, see, there you go. You know, you see the thing you have to focus on, and then you just even if it's boring, like you're like, puke. But you do it, and suddenly you're like, oh wait, suddenly I can do this, at least better than I was. And you're like, all right, and it's forward momentum. Like that speech that Stallone gives in Rocky Balboa. It's not about how hard you can hit, but how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. Like you're moving forward, and that's more than a lot of people. Some people have actually stopped, sat down, or even dragging themselves backwards. That's how winning's done. Hell yeah, shotgun scream. Me and you, dude. Yeah, Gingerbread, you think comic illustrators are underrated as some of the most advanced artists there are because they have to draw everything quickly and consistently, and no other art field requires it. Yeah. Mellow, my review of Last Blood, face, hero, face, punch, 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 grimace. Your crutch right now is I draw mid to close range shots 90% of the time. You need to move the camera. Yeah, that's one of those things where, again, you start making pages and you feel like, okay, I'm doing it. But then you stop and you're like, I got to add some variety. So then you go back and start studying your favorite artists and seeing how they. What I find is when I go back to study storytelling from some of my favorite artists, it's ridiculous how simple it looks. And simple isn't actually the reality. It's actually complex. You have to understand the complexity to make it look simple. But you're like, it looks so simple the way they're doing. Like, I see what they're doing. I understand it completely. Why can I not come up with the same thing on my own? Like, what is the element that I'm missing? And learn how to draw a friggin' bar. Ice, rock, smoke, and outer space better be your bread and butter if you want to get anything done, right? Oh my gosh, right? That Last Blood video. I cannot believe the shit that was going on in that book. I still laugh, though, for those of you who watched it. The idea that one guy with the bow and arrow, whoever the hell, Bo, I guess he was, the idea that he just spent all that time just beating the shit out of just literally one guy. like he's already long since dead, but he just keeps wailing on the one dude. I just kept laughing about that idea. I might literally put that into one of my stupid books somewhere. One guy just keeps pounding on the same dude who's been dead for the last 10 minutes, but it's just page after page of him just beating the shit out of the same corpse. It's just hilarious. Egg, the female posture and angle in the bottom left. You like this one that I'm working on? I've kind of been digging it. You know, that's Warwhore, the girl with the shiny silver skin. So she's basically a nude figure with shiny, glinty stuff. So she's fun to draw and relatively easy, generically speaking, because she's not wearing, like, you know, packs of belts of gears and pouches and boots and seams. It's literally just a nude figure. So it's like, well, if you draw comics, you better at least be able to pull this off. And you know Rob, he likes to draw hot naked girls because he never grew up past, 13.
Ever witness a once-in-a-lifetime moment of wild beauty? It requires a vehicle capable enough yet for you.
Yeah, see, Ginger Bear, it was a great way to see it. I can't believe it's literally just one guy in every panel. No way. Yeah, I'm sure that was not his point. But being that he never showed any other figures in the background, I was even saying, like, all he had to do was put a few silhouette shapes in the background. He's beating the shit out of one guy and put 3 or 4 silhouette shapes in the background. So, like, okay, there's a bunch of soldiers and he's pounding on them. But since it was just one dude, he just beat the hell out of him. And like I said, I was literally laughing at that nonstop for, like, after I got done recording. I'm like, oh, that was just, sometimes that's why I do these unscripted. I've tried to do scripted stuff and it just comes across as stale and scripted, I don't know. But if I just sit down and start obnoxiously just talking, I tend to just, it's more streaming consciousness. And I think I kind of stumble upon things that it's just like in the moment, it just kind of happens and you think about it and kind of comes out that way. Shotgun, you found after inking over Wolverine 31 is that there is so much shorthand and suggestion instead of detail. When you got to get 2 books out a month, you need, that's that's what I was talking about in this video I just recorded. And I talk about with Silvestri when he's getting inked by Dan Green. A lot of broken line and suggestion is a term I heard inker Richard Friend say when I think he was reviewing a Silvestri book. And it stuck in my head. It doesn't have to be precise and flawless and every line connected. Just suggestion, like you were saying, shorthand and suggestion. All you have to do is tell the story and then, focus on the, some of the bigger stuff. But every panel, I remember reading an interview from Silvestri where he said, artists need to realize that every panel doesn't have to be a masterpiece. It can just kind of be okay as long as it tells the story and move on, keep going. Otherwise you won't get done. So, yeah. I look at the way that Silvestri has shorthand visuals for backgrounds, energy, projection, lasers, smoke, just all kinds of anything, background. He just has got a visual shorthand that works perfectly. Jerry Gaines, you have a name for a Rob Liefeld memoir, half-baked, half-finished dreams. I mean, not wrong. Hi, my son.
Can I have this?
What is it? I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Oh yeah, I made those for your brother. I think he's done. You can go ahead and have some too. If you need anything else, let me know. The other title is Start and Stop, The Scattered Thoughts. It'd be more like, I had a great idea, and then squirrel. Squirrel. I'm gonna go do this other thing. I'll get back to this other thing later. No, you won't. Egg, you struggle with the idea of working quickly on your comic art? And some people, everyone's different. Like, one of my other favorite artists of all time, Adam Hughes, he's known for being ungodly, horrifically slow. But his stuff is perfect. And Silvestri can clearly work fast when he wants to. He's doing some Wolverine books and, cranking them out twice a month. I would suggest just let go of your inhibitions and just try to draw quickly, sketchy, and just be quicker with it and just see what happens. Like you were saying, experiment. No matter what, you'll learn something. And just the work Rob is doing right now would take me 5 or 6 hours. Yeah, I tend to work kind of fast. Of course, I've got to do backgrounds and all these later, but right now I'm just working out the blue pencil figures to kind of get those in there. Shotgun Scream says you can give yourself speed sketching. It's super helpful. Give yourself 1 to 3 hour time limit and just go as fast as you can. It works wonders. I did that for sculpting. That's interesting. Reminto says this is amazing. Thanks. Alex, did you get to see Rob's last video where he talks about being consistent on his books? He even compares to my. I haven't had a chance to yet watch that video. I intend to. I haven't yet. My problem, but like I like listening to Liefeld stuff for various reasons, but goddamn, do I get sick of it when he decides to almost every time veer off into sports analogy. I'm like, please shut the fuck up about basketball. Like, God damn it. Like, or the subject of the video, he doesn't get, it's an hour and a half video, and he doesn't get to the subject of the video until the last 30 minutes. Ugh, it's his channel, it's his podcast. Ugh, it gets aggravating sometimes. His interview with Jim Valentino, I thought was incredibly interesting because it was Valentino. I liked hearing what he had to say and their discussions about stuff. I enjoyed that. And then the video with Portasio, the interviews with those guys, I enjoyed those immensely. Those I listened to because, again, there's someone else there to kind of keep him on point. Like, hey, we're going to talk to this artist about this, that, the other. You know, for you guys who watch my videos, that last one I did, that last blood, and I did that opening part where it starts out with Liefeld going, I draw him wonky. He's wonky. And then I cut to that scene from RoboCop where they're like, I'd buy that for $1. I actually had straight up did an entirely different thing and uploaded it to my channel to get ready to go. And then I thought about it and I re-edited it and took it out. I'm like, I wonder if people might interpret this the wrong way. But instead of having the I'd buy that for $1 bit, I had it go, it just started out with Liefeld. And he's like, I draw wonky. It's wonky. And then I cut to the scene from RoboCop where he, the two bad guys were mugging the girl and they were holding her up. And RoboCop aims down and shoots between her legs through her dress and shoots the guy in the dick. It just cuts to RoboCop pulling the trigger, shoots through her dress, and the guy drops to the ground screaming, holding his bloody balls. And then I go into the video. And for some reason, that made me laugh. But I'm like, I don't know, that somebody might interpret that the wrong way. So I actually deleted it from the actual upload and re-edited it. I'm like, all right, maybe that won't make sense. Ginger Bear, you love that intro. He looks so gross. He's all old and all wonky. Oh, man. But yeah, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't show Liefeld getting shot. Well, it's not Liefeld, but it cuts from him to a guy getting shot in the dick. People are like, what the fuck are you implying, man? Nothing. It's not funny. Never mind. Sometimes my inner thoughts win, and I almost let that one escape. His wrinkly butthole lips. There's a title for a comic book. Did you get the new issue of Wrinkly Butthole Lips? I'm like, oh my God, yes. It's the best issue. That artist, Ginger Bear, if anyone knows how to draw a wrinkly butthole better than him, I don't know who.
Shopping cart special. They worried enough the fact to get paid for such a small thing.
I tend to keep hearing funny phrases, and my brain's like, would that make a funny comic book title, even as a joke? Like somebody the other day said, "Spray and Pray," and I started thinking, I'm like, oh, there's a title for a gag comic, "Spray and Pray." It's about a preacher with Uzis, right? So I started explaining the concept of spray and pray, and this lady friend of mine, and she's like, I don't know what that means. What does that mean? I'm like, you don't know? Oh my God. All right, here, let me draw you a picture. There's a comic coming out called Love Doll Guy. What? It looks pretty good. It's a guy who wears a female blow up doll as a bodysuit. Dude, there is an elevator pitch right there. If I was a millionaire and somebody's like, I got this idea. It's called it's called Love Doll Guy. This guy wears a female blow up doll. I'd be like, you know what? Here's a grant. Go make a couple of pages. Get back to me with the full pitch. Let's talk about this. Egg. Love Doll. I think I met that guy. Who's publishing it? Where's it coming from? Shotgun Scream. Love Doll. That's my stage name. Nice. Yeah, I'd like to see that, Ginger. If it pops up in your feed, that'd be interesting to see. Love Gravy. It's indie. Indie Love Doll, that is. Hey everybody, have you seen my balls? They're big and salty and brown. If you ever need a quick pick me up, just stick my balls in your mouth. Ooh, suck on these chocolate salty balls. Put them in your mouth and you suck them. I sang that chocolate salty ball song at karaoke night one time, and I thought it was hilarious. I was actually shocked they had the song to choose. Like, we could sing South Park chocolate salty balls at fucking karaoke night? Sign me up. Ginger, could you send that to my Instagram? Oh, there it is. I literally say it and then I see it pop through. Thanks, man. I was like, I'll never remember it if it's only here. Thank you. Yeah, I want to check that out. Appreciate it. The title doesn't beat around the bush, he says. I can't wait to see it. Oh, wait, I got my other phone. I should be able to see it right here. Instagram pops up. Let's see if there's Instaho first thing. Yep, naturally. Hot girl flexing. Wonder why I follow these people. This guy's got 57,000 followers from Budapest. All right. Wow. Look, there's an artist right there. Actually makes pages by hand. Look at that lettering on the page. I'll never do that, but that looks awesome. All right, I'm following him. Thanks, dude. All right, I'll check out that post. Yeah, when I get off here, I'll go digging, go down a love doll rabbit hole. Gonna finish up this lower figure and then maybe call it a night. But let's get this guy drawn in here a little bit more definitively. You know, it could pop up anytime. This random YouTube playlist does, because it has been in there before. It's just at the moment. Let me see. Because, yeah, this random one got Last of the Mohicans, the original Dune, Dracula, Batman, Aliens.
I love Inside London. I can never get enough. Whoa.
Fucking commercials. I got more new Dune, Star Wars, The Force Suite, Deep Space Nine, more Batman, more Star Wars, Interstellar, First Night, Inception, Superman, Gladiator, Akira, The Rocketeer, Superman Returns. Yeah, and all of that, not a single Predator. You'd think it would. Now it kind of needs to. Ponytail goals. Well, it's more of a, it's not a ponytail as much as it is a, like a Ninja Turtle bandana type thing. Like this stupid Wolverine ripoff mask minus the ears. It's kind of just, it's tied in the back. These black parts are kind of tied in the back as like Ninja Turtle bandana things. But it does kind of look like a ponytail. It is supposed to kind of be a play on that. And like, because he's a Wolverine, like a stupid version of Wolverine. Instead of having the pointy ears, he's got these Ninja Turtle things hanging behind him. That's kind of the visual gag for him in a way. Way to crush my dreams. I know. It stomped out your hopes and dreams. You need to go out and stare at the twin suns on the dune sands and wish you were elsewhere. Shit, dropping my pencil. Remember when Star Wars was good? Thanks for stopping in, Egg. I'm almost done too. Just a few minutes away from being done. But yeah, thanks for stopping in, my brother. Hey, Star Wars is your favorite franchise? It used to be one of mine. It's dead to me. It is so horrible. Even like the name Star Wars actually makes me get pissed off anymore, considering how they've butchered the shit out of it. I will always love the originals, and I just pretend nothing else exists. I do not give a shit anymore. And they are rapidly doing the same thing to Star Trek. Yeah, the originals were better because they were just simple, and not every character had been like dug into and had some profound backstory that has to be told. It was just a world of, you know, character tropes that we understand: farm boy, roguish hero, princess, bad guy in black, great danger. But let's surround it with awesome sci-fi setting and fast vehicles and giant furry space dogs and, heroic good guys winning over evil. It's just so simple and it's fun and sparked the imagination of an entire generation, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, barf. Sick of lightsabers. Remember being younger and having The Empire Strikes Back on VHS and just watching the Falcon escape from Hoth and the like sheer panicked kind of situation that Solo and Leia were in, trying to just get away, and their fucking ship won't go, so they have to outmaneuver them, and all of that, avoiding the Star Destroyers, and then going into an asteroid field, and then maneuvering around, and that incredible John Williams score, and just feeling palpably how much Han Solo did not want to be there. And he would not be with all these clowns risking his life, but he fucking loves that girl. And he's going to get her out and save her life when he would just rather be anywhere. And just by the skin of their teeth are they able to get away, fly down the throat of some giant space worm. It's just fantastic. And then the little spiritual journey that Luke goes on with Yoda. It's all so simple. Judge me not by my size. Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter. Must unlearn what you have learned. Do or do not. There is no try. Just all these great. It's so simple. And it worked so well. Yeah, the VHS with the 20th Century Fox logo, right? Dun, 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 dun. Like that, like forever has been ingrained as like that's the beginning of Star Wars, that Fox logo, right? And again, that glorious John Williams music. And then again, Solo's desperate need to get away, and then Luke training, but then he goes to confront Vader and he fails miserably. I guess not miserably. But Vader was just toying with them. Like Vader literally had one of his hands on his belt, just one-handing it lightsaber fight. It's like I could end this kid instantly. And the sheer like hopelessness that fight ended up portraying. And Luke's like, how did I get here? This is, oh my God, there's nothing that could happen that could be worse than the situation I'm in. Oh, wait, by the way, Galactic Devil is actually your daddy. How's that make you feel now? Yeah, sad that Fox doesn't exist anymore. They didn't have the episode numbers on the titles. Yeah, it was just Empire. And again, I just remember always feeling like when Luke gets through all that, like he goes to face Vader and he's arrogantly thinking he can beat him. And he thinks he's doing okay. And for a minute, he kind of does okay. Even Vader's like, yeah, you're doing okay. You're not bad, kid. But then he finds out all that stuff. He gets his fucking hand chopped off. Like Luke gets a lucky shot in and zaps Vader on the shoulder. And that pissed Vader off. He's instantly like, all right, deflect, swing, your hand is gone. This fight is over. So Luke's crawling out there on that thing. Then the revelation of father. And so he just drops himself off thinking he would just fall to his death, I guess. I mean, isn't that what we're supposed to kind of presume, is that he'd rather let go and die than stay with this guy. But then he somehow magically lands and skids, but then he gets dropped out the bottom, and now he's hanging on a pole out the bottom of the station, the Cloud City. I just always imagined, like, fucking commercials. Like, it seemed like he was cold and like he'd been sweating, but now he's out there in the freezing cold, hanging upside down, miles above whatever the surface of the planet is, lost, alone. Could not be worse. And fucking luckily space magic, he can telepathically communicate with Leia. It just was so like, holy shit. I can't imagine what it would have been like to watch that in the theater, because it was at 1980, so I was like 3. I was 3 years old. So, you know, the Empire has just kind of always existed. It's just always been there. So I try to imagine what it must have been like to see that story and just witness it and walk out of the theater going, holy shit, you thought the first Star Wars was good. This one just was like leaps and bounds above better. But just as a kid, I remember like the poor guy, what a horrible, miserable situation. Of course, the tone didn't quite match it in Jedi, but I like Jedi enough. I'm fine with it. It's all one trilogy. It all works. The emotional payoff for the end with Vader and Luke works for me just fine. They ruined it by adding Vader going, no! Like, oh my God. Talk about the most useless, pointless thing. All I need to see is Vader staring at his son getting zapped. The music swells. You see the psychotic evil face of the Emperor just gleefully zapping him to death. And then just have Vader look at his son and then look at the Emperor. And he looks back at his son, and his son is begging to his father, Father, please. Like his child is begging for him, and that makes something in him snap. Doesn't need to say shit. Just picks the Emperor up, gets electrocuted himself, throws him over the pit. He's dead. He's done. Vader's dead, or will be soon, but he made the leap. It's all perfect. Fucking George Lucas can't stop farting around with it. It's not good enough. I always wanted to have Vader yell at the end. He needed to express himself. This is important. This is the true realization of my vision. Somebody take it away from him. Oh, they gave it to Disney. There's a mistake. Oh, excuse me. All right. A true father, right? Yeah. Even as a kid, like, I felt it. There was a scene earlier in Jedi where Luke gives himself up on stupid Endor, and they're walking along, and You know, Luke's trying to convince him. He's like, it's the name of your true self. You've only forgotten. And Vader says for a moment, he almost sounded like he had some like empathy and like he just kind of quietly, almost sadly says, it's too late for me, son. Like he didn't say that with like evil intent. He said it almost like sadly. It's too late for me. But then Luke walks away and you just see Vader stand there and he just thinks. He's just pondering. You're like, oh, where's that going? So they're setting up the ending. Works so great. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. All right, y'all. I penciled up this page. I penciled up these figures in this lower page. I'm going to call it a night. Yeah, Mellow. I guess I'm rewatching that trilogy, right? I'm kind of sitting there, I'm like, oh, I kind of want to watch it now, too. I might start with Empire. I've seen the original Star Wars so many times. It is kind of its own self-contained story, but Empire is like the continue. Like I don't know. I kind of want to start with Empire and maybe watch Jedi. I might actually do that. I might sit my kids down. Hey, little shits, fuckers, sit down here. You're gonna watch a movie. But yeah, I'm gonna be done. So yes, hey, what's up, bro? He's like, me too. I'm gonna be done for the night. Thank you guys. It's been awesome. Appreciate it as always. We're all an outstanding bunch of fellas. All right. Thanks, guys. Jerry, hey, what's up, bro? Mello, everyone. Catch you later.